Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Maelstrom Aqua Force deck. Aqua Force was once upon a time my favorite clan. When I first got into Vanguard, it was probably it was more than a year ago, probably a year and a half ago. Back right after set 5 had come out in English, so that was right when MLB and the N were were the real popular cards everybody was after. But I was new to Vanguard at the time, so I didn't really know much about the N or any of that stuff, so I didn't even bother paying attention to those cards. And then I started collecting trial decks and buying random booster boxes. But then the card that really got me into the game was Maelstrom, not Maelstrom Reverse, Bluestone Dragon Maelstrom. So this guy. So this was probably my main Vanguard that I used for a while. And then I did build Shadow Paladins. I built the Phantom Blaster Overlord deck, which was obviously not as good as, or not as popular as Overlord the N at the time, but it was much cheaper to acquire. So I went with that, and I had just Maelstrom and Shadow Paladin. Really, it was Aqua Force and Shadow Paladin. Those were my main clans from back in the day. So set 15 is pretty highly anticipated set for me, since it does feature a lot of my favorite clans. So I don't know, depending on what I pull, if I pull a whole bunch of Rebirth, I'll transform this guy into Rebirth. As for Maelstrom, I'm just going to keep him, and I'm going to probably take out Glory Maelstrom, and he's going to go reverse, so he's going to turn evil, but he'll still be in. And then Raging Form is probably my favorite Shadow Paladin boss monster, so I'm not too keen on Drag Ruler. Depending on how many I pull, like if I pull 2 or maybe 3, I'll probably build the deck, and I'll probably separate them. I'll put Raging Form in his own deck, and Mordred and his Crossride will go together, and this will probably go with either Desperate Dragon, since it is a Revenger, or the card that's coming out in Fighters Collection 2014. I might mix that Dark Magician of Chaos looking guy with this guy. So basically, these are my 3 big boss monsters, 3 main decks I'm going to be running over the next couple months until Legion rolls out. So anyway, for today, we're going to be going over my old school Aqua Force deck. So this is not my Tetra Drive one. So I have 2. I have the Tetra Drive with Transcore, which is the competitive OTK based deck. And then I have this one, which I'm very excited that it's finally getting good support. So start off, 4 Bluestone Dragon Maelstrom, the main boss monster, so we run 4 of him. 2 Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom. He is your ultimate break, and he's a cross ride, but I don't rely on him too much because I hate being at limit break 5. A nice thing about him is at least he doesn't have to get to 4th attack or anything. He just attack whatever. If you're on ultimate break, he can just do his thing. And then 2 blue Storm Rider Diamantes, just to enable them to get their 4th attack for Maelstrom when you are using Maelstrom. So that's the grade 3 lineup, so 8 grade 3s. For grade 2, 4 Storm Rider Basil. The best Storm Rider, well actually, technically Diamantes is probably the best Storm Rider, but at least this guy can intercept. 3 Twin Strike Brave, or actually no, 4 Twin Strike Brave Shooter. A lot of people don't like this card, but I have to run him because Tidal Assault is in my Tetra Drive deck. So all 4 copies of my Tidal Assault are in there, and I only have 4 of them. So this is the alternate stuff that I have to work with. And then probably the worst grade 2, and which I probably shouldn't even be running, and I'll explain real quick why. Titan of the Beam Rifle, whenever you have LB4 card on the field, actually Vanguard or Rear Guard, he is an 11k, so really, as long as you have Maelstrom, he's 11k when he attacks. Otherwise, if you don't, if he's your Vanguard and you have Diamantes, you're not going to get that. He's just going to be an 8k attacker, which is terrible. So he doesn't really work too well with Glory Maelstrom, but he will work pretty well with Reverse. Unfortunately, by the time Reverse comes out, there'll be much better support, so this card won't even be in the deck. So the alternate to this would be Coral Assault, which is probably what I should have been running, but whatever. Next, 2 Battle Siren Dorothea. or Dorothea. This is just to make your ultimate break that much more aggressive and put more pressure. And same applies to Maelstrom. So 2 of this. It's your 10k Vanguard booster on 3rd or more attack. 2 Light Signals Penguin Soldier, more draw power. The reason why this is good in here is because since Aqua Force does require a lot of field scaling, they have to constantly have a full field. This helps you replenish your hand. So most of the time, if you don't have this behind the Vanguard, you'll call this instead and get that extra draw. And then 2 Storm Rider Eugen. Again, I'm having to run as many Storm Riders as I can. So I went with a total of 8 Storm Riders. So 4 Basil, 2 Diamantes, and 2 Eugen. The reason why is because I think having 8 Storm Riders allows the deck to be consistent enough to allow you to get to 4th attack without having too much of a problem. So that's why 2 Eugens in here. And when you're forced to attack with him first, he is an 8k attacker. So he's not terrible. You can even have a pretty lousy column like this, where he's 8. If you're up against Bermuda Triangle or someone who runs a lot of 8k bodies, it's not, well, no, never, I take that back, because he does have to attack a Vanguard to be 8k. So he's just there as an emergency way of getting to your 4th battle. Again, just to clear up why another reason why I'm running him is because all my Wheel Assaults, all 4 of my Wheel Assaults and all 4 of my Tidal Assaults are in my Aqua Force, or in my Tetra Drive and Transcore Dragon deck. So that's the reason why I'm having to run Storm Riders with Maelstrom, which it'll get fixed because they're gonna get all their Blue Storm support. Next, 2 Mercenary Brave Shooter. He's sort of like a 10k attacker. They are going to get their own 10k attacker for Blue Storm. I don't know if I'll run it yet. But anyway, this is in here for now. And then 2 Theo just for 8k booster. So I just went 2 and 2 just to mix them up. And then 4 Emerald Shield Paschal. This will probably, well, I'm not sure yet. I may try one of the Quintet Wall. I think the Quintet Wall is a Blue Storm, and that's the reason why. And then for the grade 0s, very straightforward. 8 critical. The rest of these, my other 4 of these, I only have 5. So the other 4 are obviously they're in the Tetra Drive deck, because that's my more, I guess, competitive. I hate to use that word, but it's the truth. That deck is more competitive than this one. Although this one will definitely get a whole lot better when they go reversed. So 8 criticals, 4 draws, 4 heals, so standard stuff. And then Officer Cadet Erikk is my starter, because he's the best Aqua Force starter until they get Mario. So anyway, that was my Aqua Force deck for Maelstrom. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It will change significantly, so stay tuned for that video. Once you see my unboxings, you can expect that I will have the Karma reverse deck. So as always, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.